Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all she wrote. Yeah. No jokes. April Fools. April Fool. Fool. No joke. No. No jokes. No. 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 That's it. Bye. Like and subscribe. I don't know if it matter. Bye. Oh, oh.
Drop your weapon. I need a weapon.
Yep.
Heads up.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. And today, keep it short. Yes, I went to a rally, not a rally, it was a meeting with a presentation on those garbage incinerators. There's large industrial building incinerators, trash incinerating trash. So the whole city sends out the trash and it incinerates it, and it's supposed to be less in the landfill. And they got a certain amount of regulations. And then there's other ones that are saying that they are waste to fuel. WTF? Or waste to energy. Because they can build something where when they burn the stuff, they run a turbine and it generates a little electricity. It sounds really cool, don't it? And Hawaii's got one of these and a couple of older incinerators. And they're regulated by the state. But apparently, the ashes they produce are very toxic. And they got to get rid of them. And it's worse than toxic waste. The electricity they generate, they sell to the electric company and take the money out of state. And there's other stuff where it's when they incinerate it, it's just all toxic stuff. It's not clean. If you were to take coal and burn dirty coal to make electricity, it'd be cleaner than one of these facilities. So there's a new movement. It's like a Red Hill thing, but this is like, oh man. So I heard the full presentation and I'm sold. It's like I had no idea how bad these things are. I'm talking about, there's some pretty toxic stuff. There's different heavy metals and mercury, and then there's all these chemicals like dioxins and stuff. It's all kind of like asthmas from the hydrogen oxide and cancer of about 15 to 25 various types of cancer. So if you have ever experienced cancer or know someone who has, it's on the list. So these things are horrible. But I also encountered my friend, and I'm not going to name him right now, but he's the one kind of giving me the advice from before. You know, your YouTube channel, just do one a week. Don't oversaturate, and just do one and just do it quality. So I'm on the thing about rebranding Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Well, you know, I've already tried newspaper to whatever to whenever, and these things ain't working. So my whole thing like this ain't working. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it because, right, you know, I woke up and I'm like saying, hey, I'm so used to it. I'm routined. I'm so used to the routine that I feel bad. It doesn't feel right not to do it. Because I had 2 years of the pandemic, and I pretty much chronicled news happening every day up to a certain point, and then I went whenever. So right now it's going to be whenever until I rebrand, and I don't know what the freaking brand's going to be or what I'm going to do. But I thought I'd do Aesop's Fable, which is usually what I was going to do on Saturday. But these things aren't, watched anyway, so whatever. So here's Aesop's Fable. 500 BC. And see, the quality just... I thought the mistakes were fun, but apparently it's not professional enough. I'm not making any money, so whatever. This one's called, from Aesop, The Fisherman Piping. A fisherman who could play the flute went down one day to the seashore with nets and his flute, and taking his stand on a projecting rock, began to play a tune, thinking that the music would bring fish jumping out of the sea. He went on playing for some time, but not a fish appeared. So at last he threw down his flute and cast his net into the sea and made a great haul of fish. When they were landed, he saw them leaping about on the shore. He cried, "You rascals, you wouldn't dance when I piped, but now I've stopped. You can do nothing else but dance because they're out of water." The moral to the story, thank you, Aesop, is to do the right thing at the right season is a great art. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, see, you gotta know when to play your flute, I guess, and have the fish dancing. It's like, you didn't like Mongoose Max, or why you could have done all those likes and subscribes and send it off and made comments. You didn't like it then, but then throws the net. I don't know what moral you get out of that. So anyhow, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to really change all this up, but I started off with Test and Travel a long time back, and here we have the headline: Report calls for better honest government. Hey, better honest government. I think we're done here. We're saved. It's all good now. It's all good. It's all done. It's fine. But the Ukraine thing, some of these things, they're on the news, and I look at the news and I go, oh my gosh. I'm not even going to go with the slap thing and the Hollywood thing. I don't know what to say about that, He did it because of his wife. His wife looked at him and went, "You better do something." And he's like, "Oh, I better do something." And that's what prompted it. And then ego took over. He's a big star. I thought I can get away with it. And so now it's all Hollywood consequences versus legality. And everyone's like, "Oh, what a good thing to talk about." So, we got more important things to do, like the Ukraine thing. It's still being pounded away. The Russians are lying still. The generals are lying to Putin, who's kind of somewhat clueless, but not really clueless. He's brought his generals, and some of them he's just like, "You're fired, you're fired, you're fired." That's why they were telling him everything's fine in the first place. They don't want to be fired because they wind up in the gulag, never to be seen again. General! It's like coming up to Darth Vader. "I will apologize to Darth Vader myself." No one wants to do that. So he painted himself in a corner in that direction. Now let me just say something about generals in the Ukraine, the generals that are part of the Russian thing pounding on Ukraine. This is one thing. The Russia mentality, and especially the military structure, is very authoritarian. So it's top down. Now that's military, right? Chain of command. But it's very centralized rather than decentralized. Allow me to explain. Because this theme will come up again, and it does in cryptocurrency. Decentralized is when you have many people having an input on the decision. Someone might make the final decision, and it could be overridden with a higher authority, but there's much more input. For example, military for the US. They got the privates, and then they got, let me see, MASH. Okay. Corporals, majors, captains, right? And I guess, wait, all, you know, whatever the ranking is. And then there's corporal, majors, captains, and then, you know, then it goes to the Navy with admiral, rear admiral. What the heck is a rear admiral? He's in charge of the poop deck. So anyhow, there's many in the chain, many links in the chain of command. So there's lots of inputs and stuff like that, and maybe even overriding. You know, like what the captain says, he might go over his head to whatever's above the captain. Whatever. So, corporal, major, I don't know. So, now compare that to the Russian style, where you have the general, and then you have the army. Pretty much. There's not too much in between. That is why the general goes to the battlefield, and then, you know, when stuff happens, boom! No general, no leader. And if you noticed, when it was going on, there's like, Russia lost 5 generals. What? Because they're out in the battlefield. Those are the ones barking orders. And then if they get nabbed, they got no leader. So it's very disorganized, ineffective. So, well, that's about it, I think. Yeah, ring away. So, I'm not sure how I'm going to approach this. I'm just doing this now. I'll try to figure out something and feed my impulse as well. Have a nice day. Aloha. Aloha, aloha. Seriously, aloha. Okay, anyway, goodbye. Bye. Aloha, going.